BPM Boy rolls in the same realm as Marble Madness, Super Monkey Ball, and Blob, and if you like those games, feel free to stop the review and just buy it. If you're into the above, you'll love BPM Boy. Even if there are a slowly growing number of roller-style games to play out there, BPM Boy still feels like it stands out from the crowd. It's also a VCS exclusive at the moment. The premise is simple: collect everything and get to the end of the 35 levels in time, but execution is of course the hard part. You'll have to jump over obstacles, beat the clock, find the secret Atari logo in each level, dodge various things out to crush you, and change colors from blue or red in order to pass through same-colored barriers and floor tiles. Jumping, double jumping, and color coordinating while doing it is half the battle. The other half is controlling the speed, direction, and path of your ball. You'll pick up hearts along the way. Each heart lets you take a hit. Take enough hits or run out of time and it's game over. The game is also about music. The story centers on a rival DJ who steals your tunes and fans, and it's up to you to save the musical universe. BPM Boy uses a procedural music system that adjusts itself to the action, and when everything is cooking along, the game's beat propels the gameplay in a very fluid way. I personally found a few other sounds to be a bit annoying, especially the squeals of your friends and the somewhat hard to understand delivery of the main enemy. In somewhat the same way Parappa the Rappa on PlayStation 1 gets harder as you do worse, the music can be an indicator maybe it's time to restart. If you're good at controlling the ball though, the beat complements the gameplay nicely. I found BPM Boy to be pretty difficult after the 9th level, and I've slowly worked my way through another 6 or so levels before deciding to get this review out, as it'll be quite some time before I get through it all. The amount of enemies, obstacles, and tricky platforming required ramps up with each level, and it is possible to get blocked with more XP needed to unlock the next level than you have, due to not getting every note, secret, or prisoner unlocked in the previous levels you played. In that case, you'll have to go back and pick up available XP from previous levels before you can move ahead. It's a bit of a bummer, but for the most part you won't encounter it, unless you're skipping secrets or not quite grabbing everything. If you aren't able to get all that stuff, odds are good you'll be struggling through the higher levels anyway, so perhaps it also serves as a bit of a skill check before the game throws more difficult challenges your way. Each level also has an independent leaderboard, which is a neat way to see how you compare to other VCS owners, and boy are there people better than me at this game. BPM Boy only supports the modern controller at this time, although it seems like the game would be possible to play with the classic. BPM Boy is an exclusive to the VCS, and its developer RetroNinja Games has already teased several other great-looking titles that could hit the console in the future. One game in particular called Chaos Chassis is one I'm looking forward to, as it looks to be a bit of a combat recharged, although I don't know the actual gameplay at this time. Tony Barnes is a longtime game developer who started his indie studio RetroNinja in 2019, and he's been a frequent visitor to the VCS Discord, offering development insight and just hanging out with the crowd. It seems likely his future games will also be excellent fits for the Atari VCS, and it's really nice to see him in the community. If you're terrible at ball rolling games like Marble Madness or Super Monkey Ball, as I am, you may struggle with BPM Boy as I have. That said, none of my deficiency is the game's fault. The game itself is polished with tight controls that can be used to do things like create backspin and determine landing speed, and the music fits really well into the pace and flow of the game. BPM Boy is $20, which is slightly higher than most other games on the platform. It's a challenge, as we live in a world of rock-bottom Steam sales and a constant flow of freebies from Epic, Sony, and Microsoft. Hopefully the price point, which is reasonable, doesn't stop people from checking the game out. If the game looks interesting, you'll get your money's worth. Ultimately, the VCS will get games if developers can make their money back from the work they did to get games on it. And Barnes says BPM Boy was about 8 months of solid work. So even if BPM Boy sells several thousand copies on the VCS, no one will be diving into a swimming pool of money. Don't let the price put you off. Thanks for watching. I'll have a look at more games on the VCS in the coming weeks, although things slow down a bit in June and July. We also have a couple of expected announcements soon for Atari's 50th anniversary, so expect to hear about a couple new games coming to the VCS. 2022's been another good year for Atari fans on the VCS, and it's nice to see the console enter its second year with continued support. Liking helps spread the word about these videos, and subscribing gets these videos in your feed. Have fun!